welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at, well, a really fascinating relationship. Subhas, Chandra, Bose, and Mahatma Gandhi.
Mm-hmm.
The big question people often ask is, were they friends or enemies?
Right. It gets framed that way a lot.
But our mission here, looking at the source material,
Yeah.
is to kind of get past that simple black and white.
Exactly. To understand the nuance.
Because both were absolutely key figures in India's fight for independence, but, well, their ideas on how to get there were really quite different.
Very different.
You've probably heard simplified takes, so let's dive into the source and see if we can paint a clearer picture.
Sounds good. And what strikes me first is that shared foundation. Despite everything, their absolute core goal was the same: India's freedom, complete independence from the British.
That's the bedrock, isn't it? Even if they disagreed on the building plans, so to speak.
Right. The source emphasizes this shared aim, even if indirectly sometimes. Their dedication was mutual.
Okay, so let's talk about those different building plans. The contrasting approaches. Our source lays it out pretty clearly. Gandhi, his path was nonviolence, peaceful protest, marches, satyagraha, this idea of truth force.
Essentially fighting with moral conviction, not weapons. He believed in changing hearts, even the opponent.
Yeah, things like don't fight with guns, fight with peace. That really sums up his core belief.
But Bose, well, he saw it differently. He came to believe that, given the power of the British Empire, force was probably unavoidable.
A strong fight, as the source puts it.
Exactly. He felt that sort of direct confrontation was necessary to actually push them out. So same destination, free India, but totally different routes mapped out.
And these different routes led to some significant clashes, didn't they? The source mentions 1939.
Ah, yes, Bose becoming president of the Indian National Congress.
Right, but apparently not everyone in Congress was fully behind him, and Gandhi disagreed with some of his ideas.
That's a crucial point. It wasn't necessarily personal animosity, at least not entirely, but a fundamental split on strategy. How do we actually achieve independence?
Which ultimately led to Bose leaving Congress.
Yes, he went on to form the Forward Bloc. The source highlights this as a point where their paths just became, well, irreconcilable.
And then World War II happens, and the divergence gets even starker.
Absolutely. Bose saw the war as an opportunity. He sought help from Germany and Japan.
Axis powers.
Right. And he formed the Indian National Army, the INA, to actively fight the British alongside him.
Which, as the source notes, Gandhi fundamentally disagreed with. Aligning with those powers engaging in warfare, it went against his core principles.
Completely. For Gandhi, the means were just as important as the end. Nonviolence wasn't just a tactic, it was a creed. Bose was perhaps more pragmatic, thinking my enemy's enemy is my friend, at least for now.
A tough calculation in a freedom struggle.
No easy answers there.
But despite all this deep ideological divide, the source points out moments of real respect.
Yes, that's important. Gandhi apparently called Bose a true patriot.
Recognizing his love for India, even if he disagreed with the methods.
Exactly. And Bose famously called Gandhi the father of the nation.
Wow, that's huge. It shows he recognized Gandhi's monumental role, despite their differences.
It speaks volumes about recognizing the other's commitment, even amidst profound disagreement on the path forward.
The source uses this great analogy, comparing them to two rivers going in different ways, but to the same sea, India's freedom.
I like that. It captures it well, doesn't it? Different currents, different landscapes they flow through, but the ultimate destination is shared.
It really does. So summing this up, they weren't simply friends, nor simple enemies.
No, far too simplistic.
It was complex. Shared goal, starkly different methods, moments of friction, moments of respect.
The key takeaway, I think, is that history, and especially movements for change, are rarely about everyone agreeing on everything. You can have divergent strategies contributing to the same ultimate outcome.
That analogy really helps understand that. It challenges the idea that there's only one right way.
Definitely.
So, as we wrap up, maybe something for you to think about. Considering Bose and Gandhi, how can fundamentally different approaches, even conflicting ones, actually coexist within a larger movement for change?
Yeah, how do they contribute, even when there's significant disagreement?
Understanding this dynamic between Bose and Gandhi gives us, I think, a much richer way to look at India's history.
And maybe understand social change more broadly, too. It's often messy, complex, with many different threads.
Absolutely food for thought. Thanks for tuning in to The Deep Dive.